Welcome to Conversations with Sarah. Today, I'm joined by Kristina, a holistic therapist and herbalist from Herbally Holistic, to have a conversation about using herbs as self-care. Welcome, Kristina.
Hi.
Hi, thanks for coming and joining me. So we're going to have a conversation about herbs. So I am going to say a little disclaimer right at the beginning for people. Everything we talk about we're talking about it generally. Speak to your GP, check for contraindications, which I'm sure will make sense as we go through. This is general information. Don't do anything without working alongside somebody. Thank you very much. Kristina, do you want to let us know a little bit about you, what Herbally Holistic is and what it is that you do?
Yeah, so I am a herbalist and I take herbs every day. I had started with my son. He's asthmatic, so I was looking for just natural ways of helping him. I started giving him time, and it helped. And then I would have had a lot of anxiety and I was really, really stressed. So then I had started taking Avena sativa and it helped so much. I felt it instantly. As if I was having a really bad day and really stressed, I would take it and it just calmed me down so much. So then I just really wanted to help other people through herbs, and there's so many different herbs out there and they're so readily available. Like you can find herbs in your kitchen cupboard that you would cook with. And I didn't even know. Like I had thyme in my cupboard for years, and I didn't know you could use it for chest infections or asthmatics. And then as well you can grow your own herbs. So and then that's therapeutic too, the gardening side. Just wanted to educate people and share my knowledge of herbs with everybody so that they can benefit from it too, and they don't have to automatically go to the cupboard. If there's a sore head, they don't have to automatically go for painkillers because a lot of people can't take painkillers because of stomach problems and stuff, so there is alternative remedies for that, and I just want to let people know.
So how did you discover that herbs can be used in that kind of way? What led you to that discovery?
I think it was just little things, like growing up, when you get stung by a stinging nettle, your granny or an older person would have said, find a docken leaf, get the stem and rub it on the sting, and that would have cured it, and then it was as well with my wee boy's asthma. We lived in the town, and I had came across an article saying that if you're asthmatic, trees produce oxygen, so it's healthier for an asthmatic to live out in the country. And then as well, I came across a fella had hay fever, really bad hay fever, and he stung himself with a stinging nettle once a week, and he did that 3 years ago, and he's never had hay fever again. So, and then obviously when you're pregnant and everybody's like ginger nuts, so there's the ginger. So it's just little things,
and it just sort of all came together. Sort of stress and anxiety was something that you've experienced, and I know a lot of my clients, that's their main thing. So let's delve straight into what are herbs that can be helpful with stress and anxiety.
The main popular one that everybody kind of knows about is the St. John's wort. It's really good, but at the same time it can counteract a lot of medications that you're on. Because it would be very it can cleanse the liver. So if you're taking prescription medication, it could get the prescription medication out of your body quicker. So I wouldn't recommend using the St. John's wort. That wouldn't be my top. It would be the likes of lemon balm. I love it. Or passion flower. They're really good. for helping with stress and anxiety. A lot of my customers come in with sleeping problems because of stress. And then there's valerian, which is a sedative herb. You can get it in tea, so you can have it in tea, you know, before you go to bed. And it's very, very good sedative herb for sleeping, and a lot of my customers take it and they love it. You know, some of them say they can't live without it. Like,
I mean, that's one I've never heard of that. I mean, I don't really know anything about herbs, which is why I was interested in speaking with you, because I think it's good, great for me to learn something new, and it's such an interesting topic. I like the alternative medicines. So yeah, I've never heard of that. So that can you buy that in tea in a supermarket, or is there like a special shop that you need to go to?
Yeah, you can get it in the wee health shops, or puka, you know, the puka teas.
Yeah.
You can get one, it's called nighttime tea, and it's in it.
And I have heard of nighttime tea. Okay, so that, and I've heard good kind of raving reviews around the nighttime tea.
Yeah, it's really good. So it is. So you can grow it yourself, if you wanted to, and then you can dry the herbs up and make your own tea.
There's quite a lot of different ways then that you can use the herbs, because you've already said like buying a tea bag, growing it and making your own tea, like the dock leaves and things like that. So putting it on your body. Is there other herbs you can put onto the body, or?
Yeah, there's loads. Aloe vera. I had burnt my head, so I just put the aloe vera gel on my head and it soothes it straight away. And then you've got the likes of the calendula. If you would have really dry, you know, we like all the hand sanitizer we're using at the minute.
Yeah.
The calendula cream is very good for dry, rough, chapped skin. There's a number of herbs you can apply topically.
I've used aloe vera and I've never kind of thought of it in that way. And like that, there's other products that you could, or natural remedies that you could be using. So what are your like top 5 herbs that you'll go to, the ones you like to use?
Wild oregano, it's really good. It's a broad spectrum herb, so it has multiple uses. That would be one, like that would be the top go-to herb. A cold, if you're tired, earaches, anything like that, that oregano oil covers it. I actually had a customer in the other day and he was saying that they talk about it in the Bible. You know, that's how long ago it was used.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a very good herb. Then again, second one would be milk thistle. It's really, really good for your liver. It cleanses your liver. And if you've had a drink the night before and you've a really bad hangover, it's really good for that. If you take that the next day, it's really good. Ashwagandha is another one for anxiety and mood.
That's one that I've been exploring for helping with autoimmune. If you've got autoimmune disorders, suddenly I saw an article and I was like, oh, okay, that might be quite useful for me. So to know that it sounds like it's quite a balancing one to use.
It is, because it's good for your blood sugar levels as well. It balances your blood sugar levels, and it's good for, it's good for boosting. It's good for boosting the male's fertility. You know, so it's very good, versatile. You know, it's really good.
Yeah. It sounds like that there's lots of different uses with the different herbs. So it is that kind of, you can mix and match and put things together.
Oh, definitely.
And do you do that with like cooking them, or how would you sort of suggest using them? Like, I literally know nothing. I've been waiting to speak to you rather than going off and researching. I thought, no, I'm just gonna let you fill me with knowledge.
Well, I personally take them as a tea. So I would take them as tea, but you can get them, you can cook with them. The ones you would cook with would be more the likes of your, you know, like your turmeric or your time, you know, and stuff like that. The best way to get the full effects would be either from the tea, or you can get them in capsules and wee pills. I can get them as tinctures, which is, you know, the liquid form.
Yeah.
It's, if you're taking a bitter herb, you're better off to taste it. So the likes of ginger, you're better off taking it as a tea or a tincture, because that's for your digestive system. So you're better off tasting it. So you'd be better off taking it as a tea. But you can take it as pills and stuff. A lot of people don't like taking tinctures because you can actually taste it. Like we have ashwagandha as a tincture, and it is really, really strong. And my fella doesn't mind that. He puts it in his juices, whereas I can't take it, so I take it in the pill form. And it's just the wee capsules, you know.
Yeah.
So there's loads of ways that you can take herbs.
Yeah. And I know, like, you do massage as well. So do you like incorporate it into your massage treatments? Is that something you can do? Or this is just pure me being curious?
Definitely. You've got devil's claw, and it can come as a gel. And it's really, really good for muscles and joints and arthritis. I can take it either through tablets and stuff like that, or you get it as a gel. So you could massage that while you're doing the massage. And I do use that, and it really, really does help. Clients love it, so they do.
Yeah. I think that's it, because you've got the power of touch as well then, haven't you? Like having that multi-dimensional healing space is it's so useful, isn't it, being able to bring these different tools in.
And then you're heating up the muscles as well, which you know, penetrates it better, you know, with the gel.
So I guess it's finding what initially sort of what herb is going to be helping the symptoms that you're experiencing, then working out which is going to be the best way to use it, whether it be a tea, taking a capsule, taking the tincture, which is a word I can't say very well, because I guess if you don't like the taste of things, I know, like I use an oil supplement, and when I first started using that, the taste is disgusting, but the more you use it, the more you kind of get used to it. It doesn't really bother me anymore, but it can be quite off-putting, can't it, when there's a big and not great flavor. So to know that there's all different ways that you can use it is quite useful. So it's working out what you need and then what's the best way of using it. And it sounds like there's so many different options. It's like looking around for a supplement to take in like tablet form. What kind of things do I need to be aware of, mindful of?
You know, I mean, like the valerian, because it's a sedative, you would use less of it. You wouldn't be using it, you know, you wouldn't be using loads of it.
Aware that if something's a sedative, then you don't want to take, you don't want something that's got a lot of it in it. I suppose it's that kind of.
And then your body will tell you as well, like if you're taking too much of something, you know, you'll end up, you'll feel it in your own body, you know, you'll have to go to the toilet a lot more, or, you know, and then that's just a case of, you know, rein it in a bit, you know, stop taking so much of it, you know what I mean?
So it's paying attention to what is going on within yourself when you're taking it. And I would guess really exploring it with a practitioner, with somebody who's got some training, is a good place to start. And as per my disclaimer at the beginning, letting your GP know if you're taking medication, there can be, like you say, interactions, or like this, I use the word contraindications. Some things cancel things out, and some things boost things up, don't they? So it's
definitely.
I think it's as much as we can go out there in the world and kind of find a lot of information for ourselves. I think you'll agree it's important to also work alongside somebody who knows what they're doing and can support you on that journey, especially when you're starting.
Yeah, definitely. Go from the advice of your doctor, you know, be very careful if you're on blood thinners, because there's a lot of herbs out there that are the same and, you know, can thin the blood. So we always, you know, say definitely always check with your doctor first.
And I think that's really interesting, the fact that you have to say that, and you have to consider that. Shows just how powerful the herbs are.
Oh, definitely.
Because if they weren't doing these things, they wouldn't be doing the things, would they? Like,
that's
so the fact that you have to check out with your medication that you're taking just shows how much power they've got. I've not really thought about that. That was my new thought for the day. Oh yeah, of course. There's the evidence that I need to show that it works. It does something. Because the fact that you have to check it.
I know, exactly. People think of ginger, you know, it doesn't work because I ate ginger biscuits and, you know, it didn't help me. But the ginger biscuits are only going to do like the tiniest wee bit. You're needing it in the concentrated form. Which is through either the tinctures or the tea or the capsules. So I think a lot of people have the misconception that herbs don't work because whenever they have tried them before, it's only been the tiny, you know, a tiny wee bit of the herb, you know what I mean?
And I guess it's that cumulative effect as well, isn't it? Like if we get given an antibiotics, for example, we don't take one antibiotic and then we're cured. You take a 7, 14, 21, whatever many days course of it to do the job. So having one slice of ginger isn't going to cure all your ails. It needs to be, as with any self-care practice, it needs to be consistent. It needs to be intentional. It needs to be something that is in place and becomes habitual to work with. And I guess it would ebb and flow as well. So for example, you'd use, like you said, ginger for a period of time because you require it, and then you maybe won't require it anymore, and your body will, our bodies are in different states, aren't they? So you then use something else to work with whatever else your body is needing. So you must get quite in touch with your body's needs.
Definitely. You know, your body's always telling you that there's something wrong. Like if you have a sore head, it's screaming at you saying, you know, there's something wrong with you, whether it be stress or, you know, and you just have to take that time out and, you know, sit with yourself and figure out what your body's trying to tell you. And you know, and you can try different herbs. It's trial and error as well. You know, you can try a herb, and like I says, ginger for the, you know, nausea, but there's other herbs you can try for digestive issues. Like there's peppermint, you know, and you can have peppermint tea. So if one herb doesn't work for you, you know, there's another one that might. I have some customers come in, and I love Avena sativa. But I have customers come in and some of them don't really find it that effective. So, you know, you just try a different one, you know, because there is that many herbs out there. And we're all different. So one's not going to work for everybody.
No.
So it's just trial and error as well.
Yeah. And that's the same with medicines though, isn't it? With traditional, you know, conventional medicines, not everything works for everybody. I think with alternative complementary therapies, they do, like you say, very easily get dismissed as, well, I tried that one thing and it didn't work. But like there's lots of things that can work, and it is with all of these things, it's finding the thing that works for you, and working alongside somebody who knows what they're talking about, knows what they're doing, or you know, can support you, or using sources that are trusted sources, because that's one of the other things with the internet. It's a great source of information, but it's also a great source of misinformation. And if you're ingesting things, you kind of want to be a little bit careful about what you're putting into your body, don't you? Not just going off one Google search that says try this. I like disclaimers.
I know.
Be careful. Think about what you're doing. But yeah, and I've used peppermint actually, but it was prescribed peppermint.
Right.
Yeah. So it didn't even occur to me that there was, you know, I was being prescribed something that I could go and find naturally.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. And like I used to have a peppermint plant, and it's as easy as picking off a couple of leaves and steeping it in water, and there you've got your peppermint tea.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen, I did a foraging I went on a foraging course with one of my children, and they did nettle tea, and that was really interesting because they were talking about the properties of nettle, and most of us just think of nettle as a really annoying, stingy plant, but like there's so much more to it.
Oh, definitely. And even like dandelion, there's loads of dandelions out there. And like before I had got into herbs, they were just this annoying weed that, ruined your garden. But that has so many therapeutic properties. The root of it, it's brilliant. It's good for the digestive system as well. If you're constipated, it's brilliant. So, and I think that's the amazing thing as well, because, you could go out into your back garden and you could have a whole chemist of herbs that, you don't even know about. Plantain, it grows readily and it's great for earache.
And it's good for, like, we're always, now we're getting told to plant the wildflowers, like for the bees and nature. So it's that, it's beneficial to our ecosystem, isn't it, as well? So it's not only are you growing a little garden of your own health and healing, you're helping the world, the earth, a little bit as well. And if nothing else, it all looks pretty. You can look out. And I said there's a lot in the wild. I suppose, like, thinking if you're going out into the wild, you kind of need to be really careful of where you're going because of pesticides and weed killers and things like that, because you don't want to be ingesting something that has been sprayed on something.
Or even, we would say that you wouldn't go along the side of the road and, you wouldn't go along the side of the road and pick a dandelion up, because the car fumes and, whatever's been kicked off the car wheels onto all that herbs. Or even dogs, peeing
That's
on
what
them.
I was thinking. Yeah, you don't want to be where the dogs have been walking. No one wants that.
No, definitely not. Like my garden's full of dandelions, but then my dogs, run in the garden, so I wouldn't be picking them. Like
no, you don't want that.
No, but definitely not.
If you can grow it safely,
definitely.
It's educating yourself, isn't it? It's that exploration, and kind of getting into what's out there and what you can use and what you can do. And you said turmeric. Now I know I bought some turmeric because I'd seen like a nighttime drink, and I never got as far as making it, but it's in my cupboard, so maybe I need to like think about that, because turmeric's good for inflammation as well, isn't it? And aches and pains and things.
Yep. And it's good for if you have thyroid issues as well. It's really good for it. It's kind of one of those wonder herbs. It benefits so many different things, and a lot of people say that it's anti-cancer properties as well. So it's definitely a good one. It would be a go-to herb. And it's good for the brain as well.
So what I'm hearing is about incorporating herbs into your daily routine, rather than it being something that you kind of go, oh, I feel ill, I'm going to go and get this thing. It's more of a take things that are going to support your wellness along your life journey, rather than waiting until you're poorly. Is that kind of where you're at with it?
I would say it's more of a lifestyle. You take it every day. The likes of the oregano oil, you would take it. Say you had a really bad blister that had gone infected. You would get the wild oregano and you would only take it for 2 weeks, the same as an antibiotic. So you would take it for 2 weeks, and then you would stop again, because it's so potent. You don't need to take it all the time. That kind of one would be, if you're feeling sick or something like that, you would go and get it. But then the other herbs, you would be taking the likes of thyme, or for your chest health, you would be taking it. You could, if you are prone to chest infections, you would start taking it, and then you would take it every day, and then gradually, you would see that you're not getting chest infections anymore. Like so your Agnes castus for PMS, if you're prone to having really bad period pains, you know, you would start to take some of it every day, and then, you know, down the line you would then stop getting the period pains, you know, that kind of way. So it definitely is, you know, taking it, you know, every day.
There's ones that are fundamental, kind of underpinning lifestyle, every day is going to boost your health and well-being, and then there's your sort of super powered ones that you can take every now and then when you've got a specific symptom that requires that type treatment.
Well, if you're taking herbs, you know, take it for a length of time and then maybe take a break from it for a month or two, because as well, you know, your body can start to get used to it as well. Like the valerian, you know, if you're taking that for sleep, your body could start to get used to it, so then you're going to have to up the dosage. So then if you take a break from it for a month and then you can go back onto it again, you know, you don't have to up it then, you know, because
it's the same as if you have sleeping issues and you go to the doctor, they will only prescribe you tablets for a certain period of time. And then you are expected to stop using them. So I guess it would be something that you use alongside looking at other strategies for sleep, because many of us that don't sleep, there's reasons we don't sleep. It can be habitual, or it can be some other imbalance in life that needs to be worked with. I mean, I regularly wake up quite early in the morning, but that's because that's when I'm quite productive. So I wake up, I'm productive. I go back and have a nap sometimes. If there's a lot on my mind, that tends to be, or I know I've got a lot to do in the day, that tends to be the days that I don't have. I have like, I call my power hour at about 3:30, 4 o'clock every morning, and then I go back to sleep. If there's a lot going on, that will be when my brain then gets into more, I need to do this, I need to do that, which isn't as useful. So it's for people thinking, like, I know that I need to stop that thinking and allow myself to relax. So it's finding those strategies to recognize the reason you don't sleep while you're using the herb to help you sleep, isn't it? That's what I would think anyway.
I do the consultation so that we can find the root cause. Yes, the valerian helps, but you do need to find that the reason why you're not sleeping. So in that consultation, yes, you'd be talking about herbs, but you would also be why you're not sleeping. And trying to, you know, get around it as well.
And the why is one of the big things with everybody that I speak to, and everything that we're talking about. All of these strategies to help symptoms are amazing. I believe you kind of need to look at the whys as well, and look at what is going on for you, because otherwise the symptoms keep coming up.
Definitely, you're just masking it.
It's looking at, why am I not sleeping? Why am I feeling anxious? Why am I feeling angry? Why do I feel this way? Not that you've got to spend all your time in the why, but just once you recognize the why, then you've got a choice, haven't you? You can make changes. Once you've got that awareness, you are able to move forward. I think that's, you know, one of the things that informs my practice. Like I say, I wake up early in the morning, usually because I have great ideas while I'm asleep. I dream all these fantastical things, and I wake up with an idea of something that I can do. That's a productive time for me. Now, I used to find it really irritating that I woke up really early. I would get annoyed about it, would get quite I'm frowning, I'd get very about it all. So I wouldn't use the ideas that I'd had, because I wouldn't be recording them. I would be annoyed that I was awake. I changed my mindset about it. So now it's like, okay, I'm awake. What is my intuition telling me? What has my brain thought up while I'm asleep? I record what I need to record, and then I'm like, okay, thank you, I'm going back to sleep now. So it's that change, isn't it? That, like, just a little switch in mindset can change. So once you recognize the why, you can make a choice. Once I realized this was actually quite helpful to be awake, maybe not always in the scheme of life, but it is helpful. I'm going to take that gift, and then I'm going to go back to sleep. I recognize that that's not going to be useful for everyone. My life is set up to allow me to do that. But once you kind of get the why, you can start to work out the other stuff around it, and work with how to change either your mindset about it, your framework of life around it. Yeah, because there's lots of us do things that we just do and we kind of deal with, that if you realize that that's the thing that's causing your anger, your anxiety, your sadness, your whatever, if you can change that, it's going to change everything.
Definitely.
And from your perspective, working with the herbs like helps you manage the symptoms of whatever is going on.
Definitely they do.
Feels like we're probably at a space where we can bring it to an end. Does that feel okay for you? Is there anything you want to leave people that are listening, watching with today, sort of in relation to herbs? And
just start with the little ones, like the chamomile tea for, you know, stress and stuff like that. You know, they're readily available in supermarkets and stuff, so go out and try them, and just educate yourself. I do a herb of the week on my own page. So I do, you know, a herb every week, and it tells you everything you need to know about each herb. So yeah, just try them. Them.
Thank you so much for coming and speaking to me about herbs, being my guest today.
Thank you.
I've learnt loads. It's brilliant. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. To connect and find out more about me and my guest, who will be tagged, follow SRTT Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. I'll be back next Wednesday with a new guest. And until then, stay curious.